I like that sound. That means shit is finna start.
What up, YouTube? Welcome to Life, and welcome to a different kind of video. Normally I do unboxings on this channel, but a lot of you guys have been asking my thoughts on this collab, so I figured I would do a video discussing the Supreme leaks. And the main thing that I get asked about is the Supreme Louis Vuitton collab. I get asked about that non-freaking stop, and so many people want to know my opinions about it. So many people are hyped on it, so many people are like on the fence about it, and it's just like everyone has their opinion and everyone wants to, like, I guess, ask me what mine is. And so I figured I would make this video so that way whenever someone asks me, I can just say, hey, go check out this video. But if you like this kind of video and you like content such as this, let me know by hitting that like button down below. If this video gets enough love, then I will have no issue doing these videos in the future. By what I'm reading, everything that I'm seeing online says that this is going to be at Louis Vuitton price points, which means it's going to be stupid expensive. It's like expensive Supreme, like stupid expensive Supreme. Supreme is already a little bit expensive when it comes to like streetwear pricing. Of course, compared to Louis Vuitton, it's freaking cheap, but it's going to be Louis Vuitton with Supreme branding. And I will say I do like the fact that Louis Vuitton is collabing with Supreme. I think it's cool that they do collabs like that. For example, they recently did a collab with Square Enix, which is the creator of Final Fantasy. I think that's fucking dope. I think that's so sick that Louis Vuitton is doing a collab with like these types of brands. However, or I should say companies, because Square Enix isn't like a clothing brand. But I will say the Supreme Louis Vuitton stuff is just like, some of it's like whatever. Some of it's cool though. So we'll take a look at it. I'll show you guys each piece. I'll give you guys my opinions. I'll let you guys know whether I think it's overhyped or whether I think it's gonna be cool. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh yeah, also I did not say this yet, but if you are not subscribed, change that. Hit that little red box logo that says subscribe inside of it. So now, let's get into it. The very first picture, by the way, I'm looking at a bunch of different websites, from GQ to Hypebeast to like different Supreme Twitter accounts that I follow, like JPreem, stuff like that. Supreme League News. There's a bunch of them. There's just a bunch of different people or a bunch of different sources that I'm getting this info from. Also, the picture that I'm looking at will be somewhere on the screen. So the first picture is an individual walking with a Supreme Louis Vuitton duffel bag. It's cool. Do I think it's like worth it? No. It's just a bag, it's a leather bag that says Supreme on it. I mean, the quality will be nice because it is Louis Vuitton, and if you guys know anything about Louis Vuitton is definitely nice quality. I mean, if you pay attention to their stitching when you're looking for like reals or fakes when you're in the thrifts, their stitching is always like perfectly straight. It's always super nice. You can always tell the difference between a fake Louis V and a real Louis V. It's not different. So the next image is actually showing an individual carrying a Supreme Louis Vuitton chest, and this piece I think is super dope. I think this is really cool. I do not know the price point. I do not know the price points, but I do think this piece is fucking sick. And yeah, it's just got the Louis V monogram throughout the entire piece, and it's got the Supreme logo on the top. Just overall, that'd be a super dope piece to have in like the collection, you know what I'm saying? If I had that in the room, someone walks in, they see that, it's like, oh shit, that's fucking tight. Flexing. You already know that chest is flexitarian gold. So for the next picture, some of these images are small and you will see some closer images of these items, but this individual has 3 Supreme items that I can see. So as you can see, he's got the Supreme shoulder bag, which we'll get a closer look at that in a moment, but I think that piece is overhyped. Then he's got the Supreme Louis V button up, and I think that piece is pretty cool. However, I don't really know if I feel the color. It's just like a kind of like a washed blue. It might be a denim button up, but it's got the Louis V monogram throughout the entire piece, and it's got Supreme printed throughout the entire piece as well. And then he's also rocking the Supreme Louis V bandana. I wonder if any of these models like jack that shit when they're at the, I mean, I imagine security's pretty good for, you know, such hype, but still, it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like one of them would like low-key like just kind of swoop in that freaking bandana, you know what I'm saying? So the next image, we can see a closer picture of the Supreme Louis V button up, and it looks like it's got metal buttons. It looks like it's quality. It looks nice. It's got the monogram throughout the entire piece. It's got the Supreme logo throughout the entire piece as well. It will probably be overpriced though. I mean, like most Louis Vuitton stuff is, in my opinion, it's probably gonna be really, really expensive. So if you're not into paying those really expensive price points, this is probably not going to be the collab for you, because a lot of this stuff is going to be taxed. And if you're not into those expensive price points, don't worry, I'm going to show you some of the leaks. So this next image, this individual is wearing some weird ass shit. He's wearing like a button up or a button down, except it's unbuttoned on the left wrist and the neck. I don't know. I don't like this guy's outfit at all, but whatever. He just looks kind of weird to me. What I will say is he has a couple things on. He has the Supreme Louis V baseball jersey, which I don't see a lot of images circulating of this piece, But it's basically the exact same thing as the button-up. It's got the same print. However, instead of being a normal button-up with the collar, it's just a baseball-style shirt. He's also rocking a backpack, which we will see what backpack he's rocking in a moment. And then he's also wearing what looks to be a Supreme Louis V keychain, or maybe even a wallet chain. If they have a Supreme Louis V wallet chain, that's kind of fire. I actually might acquire that, because back in the day when me, my friend Josh, or J Means, or The Means on SoundCloud if you guys follow him, but we used to rock wallet chains all the time, and that was just like our shit, just rocking wallet chains. And like, I don't know, he even made a song called Wallet Chains. So in this picture we have a closer look at the Supreme Louis Vuitton shoulder bag, and it looks like if you look carefully you can see some white at the top of the bag, so there might even be like, I don't know, some kind of print wrapping around the back. But overall, I don't think this is going to be that, I don't know, it's just going to be a really expensive leather bag that says Supreme on it. The next piece is probably going to be the piece with the most hype, the piece that you will see every celebrity rocking, and probably a lot of people rocking fakes of, is the Supreme Louis V box logo. I know some of your minds probably just exploded. If you guys watch the videos, you guys know I'm not a huge, I don't really care about the box logos. I think they're overhyped. I don't care. Like, the Supreme logo is not even like an original logo. I do not care about that. That's not my favorite piece. Would I try to acquire it? Of course I would. It's got resale, and this one t-shirt right here, if you can acquire this t-shirt, I recommend everyone try to acquire this t-shirt, because if you can acquire this t-shirt, you're literally gonna pay your rent and feed you and your family for a month. So, you know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. So in this picture, we have a behind the, I don't know what I was trying to say. I don't know. An image that shows the back of the guy wearing the super weird outfit with the baseball jersey. As you can see, he's rocking the Louis V Supreme bag. I do think that bag looks super cool. I like Louis V bags. I think they look really tight. However, I will say, for anyone who's actually seen a Louis V bag in person, one, I don't think their bags are like, they're not conventional. Like, they're really annoying to open the pockets and everything. It's just, I don't know. I just don't care. I mean, the quality's nice. They'll definitely last you, but it's just like whatever. And on top of that, this doesn't have the monogram all over it. It's just got the Supreme logo going sideways down with the small little Louis V logo in the corner. I don't know. I'm not too hyped on that. Now, this piece is probably my favorite piece that I have seen from the collection. When I first saw this piece, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit excited. This is the Supreme. By the way, guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, I've been looking down this whole time. I've been looking at my laptop, okay? I'm looking at my laptop. That's why I'm looking down. But anyways, the next piece that I did get hyped off of was the Supreme Louis V leather jacket. I'm not going to acquire it, but I do like the design of it. I wish it wasn't made out of leather, but overall, super cool. It's got the Louis V monogram throughout the entire jacket, and then it has Supreme on the ribbing, which is obviously the part that I was like most stoked about. And it says Supreme on the back ribbing, and then it's got a little line. I don't really like how they incorporated the line. The line just looks randomly cut off. I wish it would have like faded or maybe gone all the way to the Supreme lettering, but I don't like that. But overall, the jacket looks freaking insane, and imagine having that jacket in your collection. Like, you'd be freaking flexing. You'd be like the top of the flexitarian food chain. This piece I don't like at all. These are the Louis V Supreme shoes. I think these are super whack looking. You know, like how if someone has one leg shorter than the other, they have to wear a shoe that's like super fat and round because they need to try to like not be crooked. That's what these look like. They both just look fat and round and weird, and they don't look cool to me at all. Like, alright, so looking at a couple other Supreme pieces, or looking at some pieces that we've already discussed and a couple other new pieces, you have the Supreme Louis Vuitton bandana being rocked right there. Then you got the Supreme scarf, which I do think looks pretty freaking cool. I like that it's in like that Louis V like brown color. I don't know, I think that's super fucking sick looking. And when I first saw this, I don't know, I was like super excited because I thought it was like a turtleneck or like a mock neck or something, like, you know, where I could like cover up the neck, you know, have a hickey hider and it not be a scarf. I thought it was an actual piece that had that neck, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be so savage. And then it was a scarf, and I was like, I'm less excited about it now. But we have these images that popped up, and this has like a bunch of different Supreme Louis V stuff on it. As you can see the chest, you can see there's a Supreme Louis V belt, there's some Supreme Louis V gloves, there's also the Supreme Louis V hat. But then if you look at these gloves, right, you look at this image of the gloves, you can see a closer look at the Supreme Louis V belt, but you can also see the Supreme Louis Vuitton bat. Like, what the fuck? They got that with like a red handle and a brown handle, so if you go back to the original image that I popped on the screen, you can see that. But yeah, Louis Vuitton Supreme bat, like that's ridiculous. Then you go over, again, you see some other images. You can see the Supreme Louis Vuitton bat, you can see the Supreme Louis Vuitton skate decks, which I'm sure a lot of people will love. There's a Supreme Louis Vuitton iPhone case. Like, what? how can you represent consumerism any more than having an iPhone with the Supreme Louis Vuitton case in it? There's some Louis Vuitton Supreme shades that look ridiculous, and then there's this Louis Vuitton Supreme hat rocked by this individual who has a lot of followers on Instagram, by the way. She's got 164K, yet her pictures only get like anywhere from like 2 to 7,000 likes. Like, mine get between like 3 and 5,000, and I have like 1/6 of her followers. I don't know. I just think that's kind of weird when I see people that have like 7 to 10 times the amount of following as me, but they barely even get double. Like, usually they don't even get double, but occasionally they might get like maybe double. Just goes to show you my Instagram quality is killer, baby. But regardless, her feed is pretty dope. So some other leaks that we have that I'll give my opinions on. The already known ones, like the first thing to leak was the Supreme multicolor hoodie. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not too hyped on it. I do like that the letters look to be embroidered, so that's pretty neat. Next up, we have the Supreme Van Gogh hoodie, and this is super dope because this is like, if you look at the picture on the actual hoodie, it's a piece from Van Gogh, I believe, called Wheat Field with Crows, and I think that was painted in 1890. Hold on, let me check. Let me check. I have a bad memory, so I could even be wrong about the name. No, it is Wheat Field with Crows. When was it painted? Hey, July 1890. Ooh, your boy was paying attention in art class. What up? Probably the only class that I ever paid attention in. But yeah, overall super dope. I think it's cool that they picked that instead of like something even more hyped that's been done 1,000 times. But yeah, overall that piece is gonna be pretty dope. I'll probably try to acquire that. I wish the graphic was a little bit bigger or implemented better. Another piece is this Supreme hoodie that says Supreme on the front. I don't know if that's embroidered or screen printed, and then it has this Terry Richardson photo on the back, and according to J. Preem, this is actually similar to a 1998 exclusive tee, or he actually spelled exclusive wrong, so. But yeah, it's similar to, I guess, an older Supreme tee that I haven't seen, so I'm not gonna like claim to know for sure, but that's what he's saying at least. There's this Supreme native jacket that's supposed to be dropping. I think that's pretty weak to me. I don't think it's that cool. I don't know. I'm not too hyped on it. And there's also Supreme Marilyn Monroe piece coming, or supposedly. There's no images that I've seen of it yet. If you guys have found any images, let me know in the comments below or tag me on Twitter or whatever, but I haven't seen any images of that. I do think that would be pretty tight. Oh, I almost forgot 2 things actually. So with the Supreme Louis Vuitton collab, the one that a lot of people saw beforehand was the Supreme Louis Vuitton sweaters, which I have not seen a lot on. I did not see at the actual, like, I don't see any pictures of those at the fashion show, but it looks like the Supreme logo is actually embossed on the sweater with the Louis V monogram, so that would be pretty tight. I probably want to get the white one, maybe the black one, depending on the fabric that they use. Also, there's a hoodie coming out that I did not mention that has a Supreme like curve logo going all the way down the sleeve. That piece looks pretty dope. And then the sup tempos, or the Supreme up tempos, and those are, I don't know, I've seen 2 colorways that a lot of people are talking about. The black ones seem to be the ones that most people think are legit, and the black ones I think look super cool. It says Supreme, but it doesn't just say it like, I don't know, it says it like you have to put both shoes together in order to see it, and I think that looks super sick. And then the other one is the camo one, which has like a little S on the bottom. I don't know, I think the black ones would be cooler. I think the camo ones they just look weak to me, but the Supreme up tempos or sup tempos in all black would be fucking insane. That'd be super dope. So yes, that is everything, I believe. I don't think I'm leaving anything else out. If I am and you want to ask me questions about it, just hit me up on Twitter. That's the easiest way to contact me, and just, say, yo, what up? What do you think about this? And then, upload a picture. But overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Get out of here. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, of course, go do that. My Instagram has been somewhere on the screen this entire freaking time, so go follow that. My Instagram is fire. And yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart, like I already freaking said. And as always, keep living the Starr life.